Hey everybody, so today's video we're going to be looking at the interior removal and reinstallation on the E46 project. Going to be starting with the rear seating area, seats and side panels, and we're going to show the removal process and the installation process. Now I have to confess I didn't actually video the removal when I did it, so I'm actually the dyeing's done, the leather dyeing's done, the cleanup's all done, and I'm putting them back in, but I'm showing the removal process and giving the tips and hints as go forward on this. So what you're seeing are actually finished, dyed, clean seats coming out and going back in. But anyway, I'll show you how to do it, what to look for, and I'll list down the description there, the tools you need. There's not many, it's not that difficult to do. So let's crack on. So to remove the rear seating and the side panels and the back part of the E46 convertible here, the order of operation, if you will, is the first you're going to start with that little filler piece there. You're going to unclip that, pull that out, and then you're going to take the seat cushion out, then you're going to take the back out, and then you can get to the side panels. So a little filler panel, simple. Let's remove the two seat belts here. That's just a little clip there. It's out of the way. Done. You're going to see when that's out, there's a flap of leather here that covers part of the mechanism for the soft top, and there's a plastic piece here. That is clipped to a metal bar or rod, if you will, wire that runs in the part of the seat back frame. So you've just got to unclip it. There we go. You can see, I think, so that just clips on there. So that's out. This is your mechanism that opens and closes the soft top. So once that's out, what you're going to be doing is quite simply going to the front of the seat at the bottom here, and you're just going to lift up. And there's two clips under here, and you're just going to lift. There we go. And the same here. And that's it. And then you can just lift the seat cushion out. So we get the seat cushion out, and then we can work on the seat back. Okay, so seat cushion out of the way. We're left with the back here. And what you're going to see down here are two tabs, metal tabs that come down, and they got a little pressed nut on them. It's a 10 mil socket. I've got this loose here already, but that's all they are. Little pressed one. There's a stud coming out of the floor that sits in. Two of those, one either side. Take those off, and then the only other thing you have to be aware of is you need to make sure the headrest is up slightly, because you've got to lift the seat up to release two fingers or tabs here that hold the seat back to the body. So it's just a matter at that point of literally grabbing it here and lifting up. And which I can't do with one hand. There we go. There we go. All right, there we go. So what you're going to see, you look here, is there are these two hooks coming out here, and they hook over this here. So that's why you have to lift up first, and then it's just a matter of getting these seat belts out of the way, and the seat back comes out. At that point you can then get to the panels if you're removing panels as well. Okay, so the rear side panels, the removal process. I'm showing you this, I'm actually installing them now, but I'm going to show you the removal process first. And it's really not that difficult. The first thing you're going to do is undo two bolts that are here and hold this into a bracket back here. And those are a T25 Torx, just a bolt. So going to get those two out first, and then what you're going to do is there's a clip down here. I'll show you in a minute where that is. There's a clip down here. Actually, it's about here, and there's a clip up here, push clip, like you have used on the door panels. So what you're going to do is get your trim removal tool down here and get that popped first. Now this is still screwed actually up under here, so you can't remove this yet. There's going to be there's screws here you have to get to. So once you've got that done, you can get your hand under here and you can pop this, because there's another push clip here. So you can pop this. That's the only, once those screws are out, once these screws are out, that's the only thing actually physically holding this in. And then there's tabs under here that lock this to here and engage it in here. So once that's done, you can pull at it, and as you pull sort of down and forward, it'll come out and come out like that. And then you'll find, I haven't connected this yet, but there's a wire to this little speaker here. There's the wire. And then you've got the armrest panel out. And once that's out, there'll be 3 screws here. 2, 3, they're 7mm socket. And 2 of them, there's a tab up here. And this tab that goes right up here. And then they screw and sandwich together. So that's why this can't be removed until these screws are out of the way. And then once those are out of the way, you can pull this down and out. And you'll see how it engages up here. And then it's out. And you got to clear the seatbelt there as well. But you'll see the armrest panel clip is here, and the lower panel clip is there and there. So that's the removal process. The armrests, the 2 T25 Torx, the armrest go in here and here into this bracket. So that's the removal process. So we're starting with the middle panel and the side panels of the back of the car. So this is the part where the speakers go and the armrest attaches. So it comprises obviously the actual padded leather panel itself, speaker grill, a second speaker that we'll be attaching, and then the armrest that attaches on here. Now, I took the padded part off of the armrest, 1 so I could refinish the wood trim, and 2 so I could dye the leather on this here. This is held onto the plastic piece with these 5 pins. And these pins have a plastic pin with a metal clip on it. And those metal clips go in and bite into the plastic in here. When you're taking it off, I find it best you just start at one end with the trim removal tool, get it lifted up, keep it held up, and then just start to work it off. It's tough. You really do have to pull, but it will come off, as I managed to do. And so now what we're going to do is just put it back together. So it's just a matter of putting the pins in here, and then we're just going to squeeze down. We'll get that assembled, and then we can start to put these components onto the panel. So to get the speakers in, speaker grill goes in here. As you can see here, there's a flat spot with 2 tabs. That's where these 2 hooks go in. So that's your guide for those. And then you've got tabs here, 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 and here that snap into place. So once we press those in, that speaker grill will be in. Now it's shaped. And if you can see that is shaped. So it is contoured to meet this. So we'll get that one in, and then we'll put the small one in. So speaker grill snapped in with the 5 little spring-loaded tabs there. Next is the small tweeter, I suppose. There's a slot in here in the panel, and there is a tab on here. So they obviously line up. That's an anti-rotate. because there's this threaded retainer, it's large threaded retainer that goes on, and that's what holds that speaker in place, and then there's the wire connector here. Pretty simple. Armrest is next. That's going to sit right there. It's held to this panel with 5 screws. And those are T20 Torx screws. So I'll go ahead and put those 5 in, and then this panel's ready. This also attaches to the body with 2 bolts here. We'll be doing that obviously when it goes into the car. So for the assembly process, you start with the lower panel here. Get it clipped in under here where it clips in by the kick plate. Get these 2 tabs up under here, and they're quite bendable. You can pull this up and bend them. So get that in first, and then pop this up under there. Make sure you clear the seat belt here, and then this second tab goes up under this one here. Engage that clip in there. This will go in when it's back in place properly. And then this is now ready actually to push the clips in, but you don't want to do that. You want a little bit of flexibility because you've got to put the armrest panel in. So the next thing you do, get these 3 screws in, the 7mm socket screws back in place. So this is secured. And then we can work on putting the center panel in. Okay, so I have the 3 7mm socket bolts in place. I've got it clipped up under here properly. So I've got the armrest panel in now, and I've got the wire for the speaker hooked up. So what I have to do now is get these tabs up under here, and then these 2 tabs here, in here and here, and then it's ready to engage in the front and snap into place. There we go. So now it's just a matter of getting this trim piece here lifted out of the way, which I'm going to have to get a tool to do. Okay, so I just use a trim tool here, clear that rubber trim piece. So it goes here. This is now basically in place, ready to finally clip, push these 2 push clips in place, and then just the 2 T25 Torx that hold this armrest in. You can see that's currently loose, and the assembly of this part's complete. So I have both rear side panels back in place in the car. There's one. Here's the other one. And I have all this area under the seat all cleaned up. I have the seat belt brackets all cleaned and detailed. The pass-throughs all been cleaned and detailed up. So we're ready now to put the seats in, seat back, and then the seat cushion. So that'll be the next thing we work on. So installation of the back seat is literally the reverse of the removal. You're going to slide it into position, work the 2 seat belts over it. You can remove the seat belts from the bottom, but you don't have to. There is enough length here to pull these up and over and slide them over the end of the seat. So you don't have to go to the process of undoing this bolt down here if you don't want to. And then you're going to slide the seat back, and you got to just keep it up enough. You'll feel the little clip. Okay, so once it's engaged, it's literally a matter of pushing that down, locate the tabs over the stud here, put the 2 little stamped nuts back on, and the seat back is back in place. So seat cushion installation, we've just maneuvered it into place here. Just make sure it clears the seat belt latches, and like everything else here, those were cleaned and detailed before we put this back in, as was the pass-through. So everything is cleaned, everything was vacuumed under the seat here. So you just make sure it's back all the way, and then literally push it down. You can hear that. That's the sound of those two clips. So now, literally, the only thing I have to do is snap this piece of plastic over this wire across here and put that panel in, and the seats are installed. So there's the rear seating and side panels reinstalled after cleaning and the leather dye and everything else, of course, which you can see in the other videos I've done. So I hope that video was helpful in showing you how to remove the rear seats and the rear seat panels on an E46 convertible. I will post in the description the tools you need to do the job, and I hope I see you back at the garage soon. There'll be more videos coming as I continue to work on the project. Drive safe, be safe, have a great day.